Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome all of you in this introductory session. I will present the slides inshallah, and then when I ask you that is there any question, you can unmute your mic, you can ask your question and you can mute it again, right? My name is Abu Bakar Ahsen. I have done bachelor's in computer science, master's in information technology. I have done some certifications on project management, including PMP. PMP full form is Project Management Professional, the name of the certification that I am presenting today. In addition to that, there is one more certification on risk management that I have done, Agile Certified Practitioner, ACP, that I have done, and Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt, which are related to quality management. More than 22 years of working experience with more than 200 PMP workshops I have conducted, mostly in KSA. And since last 2-3 years, I'm conducting only on Zoom. Otherwise, before COVID, I was conducting physical classes in Saudi Arabia mostly. Some of my recent sessions that I conducted when I was conducting physically, it is in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, Nokia head office. This is also in Riyadh, my open session near Ganata Center, exit 9. People from Riyadh may know this place. This is National Petroleum Yumbo. I conducted for them. This is KFU PM, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Mineral Sciences, one of the biggest, most famous universities in the world. That is STC head office. I conducted there also. And now, as I told you, mostly I'm conducting online sessions. So first slide on PMP, I'm going to explain that what are the prerequisites of PMP, how you can become project management professional certified PMP. So for that, there are two prerequisites. Number one prerequisite is the experience requirement. And number two prerequisite is the training requirement. So if you have more than 3 years, more than 3 years means could be 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, 15 years, any number of years of experience, but should be more than 3 years, total 36 months related to projects. If you are a graduate with 4 years degree. In case you are not a graduate with 4 years degree, even then you can apply for this, but your number of years of experience requirement will increase to 5 years instead of 3 years. So if you have 16-year education, you need 3 years working experience minimum. If you have diploma or anything less than 16 year, 4 years degree, 16 years education, then your experience requirement becomes 5 years. So number one is experience requirement, but remember one point here, it must be in last 8 years. So in case you are applying, let's say my course is starting from 16th of September, inshallah, it will finish in first week of October, inshallah. So let's say you attend that course and in the month of October, you are applying for PMP. So let's say in October 2022, you are applying for PMP. So in your application, you must enter experience only within October 2014 up to October 2022. Within these last recent 8 years, you can present your experience. If you have, let's say, total 30 years of experience in life, so that means maybe you started working in 1992, 1993. So if you enter any experience of 95, 96, or 2004 to 2007, anything like that, it will not be accepted. So there is a condition that you must enter experience only within recent 8 years at the time of filling your application. So whenever in future, let's say in 2024, you are filling these applications from that, you have to backtrack 8 years, so 2016 to 2024, you have to select your 8 years experience. That experience could be continuous also, could be with gaps also, could be in same company, could be in multiple companies, could be in same country, could be in multiple countries also. At this stage, I will give you a chance. If there is any question from your side, please feel free to ask me. You can unmute your mic and you can ask your question, and again you can mute it. Yes, please.
Hello, sir. I just
Yes.
want to ask that if I am having experience like 2.5 years, so I can take these classes now, and when I am applying for the exam, I will complete the third 3 years, then I will apply. Like, for example, now I am 2.5 years. So I will wait for 6 months. I will prepare for the exam. For enrolling, I will be eligible after I complete the 3 years. Is it right,
Exactly. Yes, exactly right. Because most of the people, I tell you, if you go non-stop after the training, you need roughly 2 to 3 months preparation. But most of the people, they become busy somewhere else. So this journey may prolong to, let's say, 4 to 6 months also. So that is a very good plan, inshallah, that, okay, take the training, start your preparation, and be ready at the time when your 3 years complete. And after that, immediately submit your application, give the exam, inshallah. So yes, it is possible. It's proper, no problem. Any other question, please?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have a question also.
Yes, one by one. Yes, Avas, Seema, please.
So we want to ask question regarding the experience letter. Do we have to submit experience letter of our company?
I will explain that point. Just give me a few minutes. I will explain that on the next slide, inshallah. Yes, someone else was asking a question.
Yes, I am asking the question. Actually, I am performing here at least since 5 years. I am performing as a project manager here in my company. I am handling that plus 16 to 17 big projects here. So if I will take a training, I have a BTech degree from Pakistan Karachi Industry Institute of Technology from BTech. So if I will take a training and I will immediately after finish or after training 1 month, I will submit the application. I am able to perform the PMP certification, or it takes time from me?
As I told you, after the training, realistically, you need roughly 2 to 3 months preparation for an average person. Some people who are very fast, they do. I have seen in my students, they complete the total preparation in 1 month, they give the exam, they pass the exam. Some people take 2 to 3 months, some people take 6 months. For average person, you need roughly 2 to 3 months. For very quick learners, 1 month. For slow readers, slow learners, or very busy people, it may take up to 6 months also. So yes, it is fine.
If someone will be failed in exam, so how much time he will take a rest to apply the next Or either he within a 1 month.
Whatever you observe from your mistakes in the first failure, you will identify that what were my weak areas identified during the exam. Prepare again, spend another 1 month, maybe give the exam again. Inshallah, you will pass. But 80-90% of the people, if they do proper roadmap, proper guideline study, inshallah, you are most likely to pass in first attempt. I'm not saying it's very easy, but I am encouraging you that if you follow the right path, if you are determined, inshallah, 90% chances or above, you will pass in first attempt, inshallah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, please. Any other question, please?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. I am Sir Irfan Ahmad Arain. Sir, I come back. I am BTech Honors Electrical. I come back from Saudi Arabia 2019. After I joined here on CPEC project, state grade, and working as an electrical engineer there. So I have experience in JCC also in Saudi Arabia as a consultant of electrical engineer. So, sir, if now I want to apply for PMP, can I apply like this? Because only just my job I am trying in the other area. So, and this CPEC project already energized. So, in this time, if I'm not working, I can apply and I can.
You just need to give the details in the application of 36 months of total projects in the last 8 years. So even if you're not working at the moment, you just need to enter 36 months of experience. That's it, right? So even if you could not understand, because here, as mashallah, it's a very good number of participants here. So I will try to give a short answer at this moment. If it satisfies you, wonderful. If you still want to discuss more, most welcome. After the class, you can ask me in more detail, even in English, Urdu, Punjabi also, I don't mind. You can ask me, or even later on, you can contact me on WhatsApp also, right? So no problem. You can discuss case to case with me also later on one-to-one basis. Yes, please. Any other quick question or general question if you had?
Sir, I just want to ask that once we take this training, for how much duration it will be valid, sir? This 35
it is valid forever. It is valid forever as per the current policy of PMI. Right. So there is no expiry of that. You are welcome. But of course, as you know, that the benefits are associated with this certification. So try to do it as early as possible. Target for next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year maximum. But even if you give that exam after 5 years on the basis of certificate that you will take now, that is still acceptable. This is as per the current policy of PMI. But if they change it, in few months, in few years, I don't know. Since last almost 20 years, I see this policy is in place.
Crystal clear, sir. Crystal clear.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, sir. I just
yes, please. Yes, please.
Like to know,
yes,
if I'm not related directly to project management, right. So how this course is going to help me?
Can you specify what you are doing right now?
See, basically, I'm into BI reporting.
Right.
So we report.
So like, BI reporting, if you're just generating the reports, it will be considered as operations. But if you implemented a BI tool and there was a lot of one-time activities involved, that can be presented as a project itself. So even if you say, I'm not working on project directly, but you did something that improved something in your company, that can be presented as a project itself. So someone asked on chat also that I'm working on maintenance. So maintenance directly is considered as operations. But if you made a plan of 3 years maintenance, if you improved something in that, that can be confidently presented as a project also. Even if you are a teacher, to further explain your answer your question, let's say someone is a teacher, because sometimes some professors, some doctors are also attending my courses. So even if you are a professor, if you are a teacher, you are giving lectures in a university, they also ask me this question, that can we apply for PMP in this scenario? I say, if you are just conducting lectures only, it is not accepted as a project. But if you designed a new course, you designed a new curriculum, that can be presented as a project. So it all depends, whatever you are doing, can you identify some initiatives in that, some one-time activities in that can be presented as a project. So I hope it answers your question. Any other question, please?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sir, I am a fresh graduate and I have enrolled for your course before. So I wanted to ask that if I complete the course and later on I go with this experience wala this eligibility, will I be applicable for applying after 3 years?
Yeah. Number one, yes, you can apply after 3 years. Now it depends. Requirement is 3 years. So for those people who have 2 years, 2.5 years, so just like one of your friend, he mentioned this scenario that I have 2.5 years. So I suggest directly go for PMP. Yes, spend this time, shorten your experience in the preparation, then apply for PMP directly. But for those people who have less than 2 years, like 1 year, 0 years, fresh graduates, for them, I suggest you can take the same training that I'm giving for PMP, same book, but your exam target shall be CAPM, which is a junior version of PMP. Same course, but exam is much easier. Anyone with 0 years or 0 or more years of experience can apply for CAPM. Anyone with 3 or more years of experience can apply for PMP. So for those people who are in around 2.5 years, I suggest wait for this 6 months, spend this time in preparation, directly give PMP. But for those people who have 0 years, 1 year, 1.5 years, I suggest go for CAPM. It will give you some benefits. Any other quick question, please?
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Yes, Khalid Beg, anything that is a unique initiative, one-time improvement in any scenario, in bringing change in any organization that is considered as a project. Yes, please. Someone was asking something.
Sir, I want to speak about that. I have the 5-year-old, like my membership 43296062. So if I will attend this from 16 to up to 1st October, this your training period. So 5 year I will pay again this fee for the examination, or only this will be enough for this membership fee?
Membership is for 1 year. So if you took that membership 5 years ago, that is expired. So you need to take it again, and you will pay the fees again for now, right? So I will come to that slide. So then again, you can ask your question if some part is still unanswered, right? Okay, let's continue. And yes, you have enough time to ask me more questions on the way, inshallah. Okay, so number one requirement, as I told you, 3 years and 5 years. And also within that, let's say someone mentioned I have this much 20 years of experience. So if you have 20 years, 30 years experience, you do not need to enter all the experience in the application. You just need to enter 3 years of your choice. That's it. You don't need to enter 100% of your experience. If you have 25 years, you don't need to enter all 25 years. All the companies, all the projects, no. Only your choice. You need to choose 3 years in last 8 years. So that is a good thing for you. You don't need to enter 100% experience. Number 2, training. So this particular course, which is starting from 16th of September, that will fulfill your requirement of training, 35 PDUs or 35 contact hours. PDU means professional development unit. So 1 hour of training can be considered as 1 PDU. Even today's session can be considered as 3 PDUs for you. But you need 35 PDUs for application. So that will fulfill your requirement if you enroll for the full course, inshallah. So these are the 2 prerequisites. And where to apply? Remember, some people think that you have to apply through me. No. I just need to give you the training and guidance. After that, there is no relationship, formal relationship between you and me. But yes, friendly relationship will continue forever, inshallah. I will keep on guiding you. But you don't need to apply through me. You do not need to give the fees of the exam to me. No. Directly go to this website. www.pmi.org. What is PMI? Project Management Institute. What is the relationship between PMI and PMP? PMI is the governing body of this certification. Remember, there are so many other certifications in the world which are offered by multiple organizations with the same name. For example, ISO. ISO is given by this organization, also that organization, also maybe dozens of organizations. Six Sigma is given by maybe dozens of organizations. But PMP is not given by more than one organization. PMP is only given by PMI in the world. And that is on this website. Through this website, you can apply for the exam directly. Yes, for guidance, you can always contact me. Up till here, any question or confusion from your side, please?
Sir, I'm Irfan. Just only I want to confirm again one thing, that this during your PDU training from 16 to 1, how much, sir, the fee of your this training period, and also for each 1 hour the training time, kindly also consider that which time to which time you will give this lectures.
My schedule I have already shared, otherwise I will share again on the WhatsApp group also. It's very simple. It will be Friday and Saturday, 8 classes. Total 8 classes, Friday and Saturday for 4 weekends. And at the timing, I think it is 4 p.m. to 8:30 KSA time. 4 p.m. to 8:30 KSA time. It becomes 6 p.m. to 10:30 Pakistan time. So 4.5 hours every day, total 8 hours, total 36 hours training. Fee is, regular fee is 1200 Riyal. There is a discounted, there was a discounted date, but I will give one week extension, inshallah, in that. So if you pay in Pakistani bank account, I will give you a discount, more discount on that. The final discounted fee will be 720 Riyals. But if you pay in Saudi bank, then it will be 900 Riyal. The difference is because of VAT charges and kafil charges. In Pakistan, we do not have to pay VAT and kafil charges. So that's why I can give you more discount. 720 Riyal is for individuals. If you are group, then 15% more discount. So it will become roughly 540 Riyals per person for groups. And 720 Riyals per person individual. If you pay in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, it will be 900 Riyals. Yes, please. Any other question, please? I will share that brochure again on the WhatsApp group. Yes, please.
I just wanted to ask, actually this PMP course, I had attended one time in Pakistan when I was working in Siemens, like 10 years ago. At that time, it was very charming that very few people in the world were certified. And I unfortunately could not attend the exam and I could not get certified. But right now, is it still, what I'm seeing now, the colleagues I am working with the Siemens, they are going for IPMA. And they are getting certifications from there.
Okay, right. See, your point is that at that time it was very few people. I did my certification of PMP in 2005, right? In 2005, maybe there were only 120 people in Pakistan who were PMP certified, but now there are in thousands. It is like in, let's say, in 1990s, how many people were having cars? And now how many people are having cars? So do you think now because everyone is having a car, so I can skip to have a car? No, now it becomes a kind of a necessity to have a car. Similarly, in the jobs advertisements, now many people are coming for doing the PMP certification because it is required by their organizations or their customers, or they have to give the interviews, they have to apply for the jobs where they have written must have one of the following certifications, and out of those, one of the most prominent is PMP, right? So that's why I suggest it's never too late. Now it becomes kind of necessity for you. Don't delay it, inshallah. You will get the benefits, inshallah.
You're saying that there is a discount for the group. Group is, for example, if me and my friend are
Minimum 3 persons. Minimum 3 persons or more registering together, paying together are eligible for the 15% additional discount on the already mentioned amounts that I have already told you. Right. So still, if it is not clear, you can always contact me directly. That is my WhatsApp number also written here. Right. Or if you are already connected with me on WhatsApp group. So remember, I'm directly communicating with you. There is no layer between you and me. It's not through my marketing team. I am directly communicating marketing with you. You can always reach to me directly, right? So you can discuss with me whatever you like. If something is still left unclear, you can always contact me on one-to-one basis.
Okay.
Right. Abdulaziz, I just read your question. Just let me proceed. Then later on, you can ask me if it is not clear, right? Okay, so I think enough questions on this slide. Still, if something is unanswered, you can always ask me later. So prerequisites are clear. Now the exam format. So exam format, it's very easy, simple. Exam is not easy, format is easy. So 230 minutes, 180 questions, and all the questions are objective questions. No detailed questions, no subjective questions, only objective, right? 180 multiple choice questions or fill in the blanks or matching definitions. This is the format of the exam. Any question on the format?
All objective questions, which we need to attempt it one in PMP examination.
Sorry, I could not understand your question, please.
Will you please repeat again the pattern of the exam?
All questions are objective, no subjective. Means you do not have to write lines, paragraphs. Only you have to make selections. In majority of the questions, multiple choice questions. Very rarely fill in the blanks or matching definitions, matching words. So 100% objective.
Sir, is there any negative marking in this, sir?
No negative marking. So that's why you should not leave any question as unanswered. In worst case, make a random selection.
Sir, is this there any bar to pass, or it is a merit list?
Roughly 60 to 70% passing marks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So there is no, it's not like some other certifications that only 100% will pass every month or like that. No, there is nothing like that.
Okay, and there is no bar. We just have to cross 60, 70%.
Yeah. Now someone asked about the certificate or experience letter, right? So this thing I'm explaining now, that topic is called as PMI audit, PMP audit, application audit. So whoever applies for the exam, let's say 100 people, they apply for the exam today. Out of that, no further question asked for 90% of the people. Let me explain it a little more. When you are filling this application on this website, at this stage, when you are filling that in the first round, no document to be uploaded. Means no experience letter, no degree, no training certificate. Nothing has to be uploaded. Only data entry. You have to type in this year from this university, I did graduation. That was the name of my degree. In this month and year, from this date to this date, I attended a PMP course training from this institute. And in this company from this year to this year, I did one project of 16 months or one project of 4 months, one project of this. So just like that, you will have to manually type, enter this all information. You do not need to upload, scan, attach any document. Once you submit your application, 90% of the people, they are not asked any further questions. So that means now they can pay the fee and schedule the date of the exam. Means you will choose the date of the exam. They will not impose you that on this date you have to appear and give the exam. No. Exam is available every day. It's not that after every 3 months, either you give the exam or you miss the exam. No, every day it is available. You can choose your exam. 10% of the applications, they come in the audit process randomly. They first have to pass the audit. After that, they can pay the exam fee. Then they can schedule the exam. So I hope it's very clear. Now, what is the audit process? Audit process is this one. If your application comes in the audit process, you have to provide these 4 things. Number 1, education. Number 2, experience letter. Number 3, signatures from your supervisors on those projects which you have mentioned in your application. Number 4, copy of the training certificate. All copies, not original. These are the 4 things required in case your application comes in the audit. Mariam, you were asking something. Someone raised hand. Mariam, I think you.
Experience letter, I want to say experience letter means specifically experience regarding PMP.
Whatever is the evidence of your job experience in that company which you have mentioned in your application. For example, you say, I worked in 2018 to 2020 in the company named PTCL. Now, if your application comes in the audit, you need to show the experience letter of PTCL, which shows that yes, during those dates, you were part of that company. That experience letter could be too much detailed or just a one-liner experience letter. That does not matter. But yes, some official evidence that whatever information you have entered at this stage, that is true. Right? So you don't need to go back to your organization after many years that now please rewrite the experience letter. No, whatever they have written, that is acceptable by PMI. Any other question or confusion, please?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, this actually in experience certificate in Saudi Arabia, they have not mentioned the project name, but we know that we have done that project.
Right.
So how it will be proved?
Right. I just mentioned this point that it does not matter what they have written on that experience letter. You don't need to have the names of the projects on the experience letter. Just your name, company signature and stamp, and you were part of that company, that is enough.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, thanks.
Because some companies, you're welcome, some companies, they have big heart and they give you very nice experience letters with your contributions, accomplishments, and this and that. But some companies, they are not having that good courtesy to give you nice experience letters. They just give you one-liners. In other words, lab mark. Right? So that type of short letters that this person worked in this company from this date to this date, thank you very much. That's it. So even that experience letter is acceptable.
Okay, thanks.
Sir,
Yes, please.
may I ask something
Yeah,
more?
please.
experience letter, I know. Thank you for telling me.
Welcome.
Just when, what about academia? When we are from academia and sometimes we are on management positions. So because the companies can give a PMP, but if we as academician, how can is it
See,
help?
your employer is a university, or your employer is a software house, or your employer is a oil factory, doesn't matter. So even
Okay,
your employer is a university, they just need to give you an experience letter that you worked in that university from this month and year to this month and year. That's it. Right? So, okay, academia is your employer. No problem. That's an industry.
okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sir,
Any other
may I
question?
ask a
Yes,
question,
yes,
sir?
yes, yes, please, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I tried a lot to get connected to attend this session, but unfortunately, my computer gave blue screen and tried a
No.
lot. Sometime internet issue.
That
So
always
unfortunately,
comes
I couldn't.
at the worst possible time, blue screen.
Yeah, yeah. So just I wanted to know, sir, can we get the offline version of this so that we
I
can
will
see
say,
this demo?
I will give you the recording of this training, not
Yeah,
offline, online. Like your YouTube link, I will give you the link of that. You can watch it later also, inshallah.
yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
But you're welcome.
Thank you.
So the important point here is do not mention the names of those companies in your experience where you do not have good relationships, right? So in that case, they will not cooperate with you if required, if your application comes in the audit. So only mention those companies where you still have good relationships. So I hope that audit part is also clear. And one more point, they give you 90 days to pass the audit. So 90 days are enough. Even if your company, if you have left that company, left that country, you are in other cities, still 90 days are enough to contact them remotely through courier, send them the request and they will send it back to you. So 90 days are there. But if you finish that part early, you provide all the required documents, they will process that within 5 days, 10 days. So 90% no audit, 10% keep in mind you can come in the audit. Now, the choice is with you that do you want to give that exam by visiting some test center or by choosing that I want to give my exam from home. You can give the exam from home also, but that is not recommended because the software is not stable. Sometimes it gets stuck. Sometimes invigilators are not on time. So it is recommended the prometric centers, exam test centers, they are very nice facilities. Go there, give the exam. In all the big cities, you will easily find a good prometric or test center, right? But if you are living far away from the main city, still you need a good internet at least. You need a good internet, good laptop, and good environment, camera, mic, everything. Then you can give the exam from your home also. 180 questions are there, total 230 minutes. On average, you have 76 seconds to answer each question. Every question will come in front of you one by one. It's in your control when to go to the next question. So maybe some questions you spend 2 minutes, some questions you spend 5 seconds. So it's up to you. You can click on next arrow, back arrow, you can go forward, you can go backward. There is no negative marking. Total 180 questions. Out of 180 questions, 5 questions are considered as pre-test questions. Pre-test questions means not dummy questions, trial questions for future exams. They do not have any weightage. Regardless of your answer, it is right or wrong, you do not get any credit. You do not get any punishment for that if it was wrong. But there is no indication. So that's why you have to respect all the questions equally. And these are called as pre-test questions. Roughly the passing criteria is 60 to 75%. Now, why there is a range? Why not a clear number? Because no one has answer of that. PMI, they do not declare any single number that this is the passing criteria. Let's say 75%. No, because they do not tell that what is the passing criteria. That is just an understanding observation developed about this exam, that roughly 60 to 75% passing marks. So if you are getting around 85 to 90% marks on practice questions, demi questions, simulation exams, inshallah, you will pass in first attempt in the real exam, because the general feeling is that practice exams are 20% easier than the real exams. So if you are getting like 95% marks, 90% marks in the dummy or simulation or practice question, you are most likely to score roughly like 60 to 65% in the real exam, and that is enough to pass in the exam. Yes, please, any question, please. Yes,
Sir,
Shujat.
how many attempts we have for if we pay fees one time and apply for the exam? How many attempts we have? If
With
somebody fails?
one application, you can give 3 attempts, but all 3 attempts are paid. For every attempt, you have to pay again. But yes, first attempt, there is a higher fee. For the second and third attempt, there is a little small discount on that.
Oh,
Second one thing, during to the training, we will get a simulator or software access to just make a practice.
Not from me, but it is available because up till few years ago, free versions were available, cracked versions were available, but now it is no more available. So that's why it has to be purchased directly by you. What I can do is I can give you similar questions on PDF. So many of the people, they pass just by practicing on PDF also. But still, to have more confidence, what benefit I can give you, that as there is a large number of students always in touch with me before the exam, after the exam also. Even today, alhamdulillah, one person passed and he gave some feedback about the questions of the exam also. So what happens is sometimes more than 3-4 persons, they are ready to join and purchase one single license of the simulation software. So the same thing that individually you have to pay like 300 riyals or 400 riyals. So maybe 5 people can combine and they can use turn by turn also. So that access is generally for 1 year. So that is one thing that one favor I can give to you. But fully free version now, they are not available actually. Otherwise, I would have arranged that for you. Yes, please. Any other question, please?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as you told that we don't have to provide any certificates for the exam form filling, then how are 35 PDUs going to be accountable for the exam?
What I mentioned was that in the first round, no document has to be attached, but information has to be entered. Just like you need to give that information that from where you have done graduation. So you need to give the name of the university, name of the program, years of the graduation also. Similarly, you need to give the information where you have worked for total 36 months. So similarly, you need to write in your application from where you have attended 35 PDU certificate or training. So you will give my training institute's name, month, and year in that. And if your application comes in the audit, you have to provide the certificate of that. Right? This is the process.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any other question from anyone, please?
Yes, sir. Regarding the examination centers, you told we can give exam in home, but there are a lot of problems if we give exam from home.
Yeah.
So I live in Riyadh. So in Riyadh, we have examination centers available here.
Exam. You have in all the big cities, you have good centers available.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I recently gave exam in Lahore also, ACP. There were beautiful center available in Lahore also. So in all the big cities, good centers are available.
Sir, I just want to ask one thing in regards to the pattern for the questionnaire of the exam. Will it be in the MCQs?
Yeah, all MCQs. All MCQs, maybe you joined little later, multiple choice questions. Or some fill in the blanks or matching definitions. So all objectives, all objective.
I just raised this query.
No problem. No problem. Any other quick question from anyone, please?
Sir, in exam, Jubail, there is examination center.
Sorry, where? Which city?
In Jubail.
You will have in Dammam.
Okay, okay.
In Dammam also, and Bahrain also. Right. So some people from that area, they just drive to Bahrain also, and they give the exam there. If you give in Bahrain, you can celebrate also, right? So अगर पास हो गए तो तब भी बड़ा कुछ है आपके पास उधर. अगर फेल हो गए तो गम गलत करने के लिए भी बड़ा कुछ है वहाँ पे. Yes, please.
Good one, sir.
Okay, the exam software is like this. Exam software, a real exam. That is just like this screen that is in front of you right now. So all the questions will come in front of you like this. This is the question. These are the options you need to select. There is a button here, calculator. If some calculation is there, but these days, recent feedback in last almost more than 1 year, no calculations are coming in the exam. But up till a few quarters ago, there were so many questions related to calculations coming. Even today, but the person who gave the exam passed, alhamdulillah, he also gave the same feedback. There was no calculation. But still, if you feel wrongly also that there is some calculation required, maybe, because sometimes you may get a wrong impression that maybe we have to calculate, but you can answer without calculation also. Calculator is available in the software. So you click it, just like your Windows calculator, it will open. Remaining time will come here. Right, so starting time is like 3 hours 50 minutes. So it will keep on coming down. So you always have in front of you how much time remaining. You can go to previous question, you can go to next question. If you go answer this question, go to next question, then you remember something, you get a new idea by reading the next question, you come back to previous question to change your answer. You can change. So all the questions remain editable within these 4 hours, almost 4 hours. So you can go next, you can go forward, you can skip the question also. Means without answering any question, you can go to the next question. It could be difficult question. It could be a lengthy question. So you don't want to spend right now, don't want to become upset. You say, okay, I will come back to that question later on. So you can go to some other question. I tell you honestly, whenever your exam starts, because I have given multiple exams myself also, and after discussing with many students, maybe more than 90% of the people out of you have never given such exams. So whenever your exam starts, be ready for that. That is just like the initial few overs in the cricket match, in the test match, bouncers coming to you, right? So something like that. If you just be patient, don't become upset, don't become panic, because in the first few questions it looks like, oh, it's Chinese, maybe I cannot even read this, what they are asking. That is a natural thing, but it will happen to you. Don't be upset, just keep on going to next question. After 4 or 5 questions, you will feel, oh, it's making sense. It's possible to answer. Now my signals are coming like a mobile signals. Now I'm able to answer some question. So you will become comfortable. But if some people, they do this mistake, they become panic in first 10 questions. After that, even easy questions, they cannot answer. So be ready for that shock. Be ready for that. It should not come as a surprise for you, right? So it happens. keep on skipping to next question, next question, next question. Then you start feeling, an easy question came. It gives you confidence. You read it, you check the answer, then you go to next. I can answer that also. So you become warmed up. Then when you come back to question number 1 and 2 and 3, you can answer those also. So it happens like that. So you can even skip questions, go to next. Sometimes you are not confident about an answer. You just answer that question. Let's say A, B, C, you answer B, and then you flag for review also. So when you flag for review, you can come back to that later. It will come in front of you like that. That question number 14, it's flagged. That means I have to reconsider the answer. Because of the time, I could not, maybe later on when if time remains left after completing my exam, then I will come back and read it also. But if by chance your time is finished, still your some questions are flagged but answered. If your answer was correct, you will get the credit for that. Any questions so far, please?
Assalamualaikum, sir. I am Irfan. Sir, just
Assalam
only I want to confirm, sir. I want to confirm regarding like this. You are from this PDU training is started, sir. As you know, in Pakistan there is a too much flood and the destruction. So any like a student or unemployed or like this, so you can give this concession during for this 15 days PDU, like some concession in the fee for this training.
You can discuss with me on personal basis. I will discuss. Right?
Okay.
Right. Okay. So this is the format of the exam. So just one by one questions will come in front of you. And then whenever you reach to the last question or in between, anytime you like, you can click on review screen. Whenever you click on review screen, then this screen will come. And on this screen, you will see all the question numbers only, without statements, without answers in front of you. And if you have not answered any question, it will come in front of you incomplete. So you can directly click on question number 7. It will open question number 7 in this format. Or if you have marked for review something, you can click on that. So this is how your exam looks like. And at the end, if the time is finished, or if time remains and you get bored and you say, class, I want to now terminate the exam. Whatever I could have done, I have done. Then click on this button, end review. This end review will ask you once, are you sure? Do you want to finish the exam? If you still say yes, now it's done. So when you finish your exam, within 10 seconds, roughly 10 seconds, your result will come on the same screen, pass or fail. So no time to go and call your mother, please pray for me, I have given my exam, and no. Within few seconds, you will get your result, pass or fail. No numbers. Remember, they will not give you any numbers that you scored 55%, you scored 60%, you scored 80%, nothing. Only pass or fail. This is called as qualitative assessment. Ranking. That's it. Any question or confusion so far, please?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
If I am attempting the paper and the time is over and I haven't attempted all the questions, so whether my attempt questions will be counted?
Yeah. Maybe you answered only 150 questions, still you can pass, inshallah. No problem. Right?
Sir, if like the time is over and I haven't pushed the button of submit.
No. These are two different things. Whatever is the minimum, or maybe, yes, I think minimum. Either the time finishes before you click submit, or you click submit before time finishes. In both cases, your exam will be finished. Right? It's not like your physical manual exams that the teacher, the invigilator says, okay, now please stop writing. And you say just 1 more minute and you are writing fastly and they said, no. If your time is finished, your exam becomes read only. It is automatically submitted, automatically scored immediately.
Okay, thank you, sir. Means automatically, like sometimes it's the like exam phobia sometimes that we just panic as the time finishes and we don't
Yeah,
submit.
it happened
So
with me also. When I gave my exam of PMP in 2005, when I was young, right? So I gave my exam and I finished the exam 5 minutes before time. But I did not have courage to submit the exam. So I spent that remaining 5 minutes in praying only and closing my eyes only. I said, oh no, I don't have courage to submit the exam myself. Let it finish itself. So Alhamdulillah, I passed, Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, welcome.
So, sir, a quick question. So you are saying the assessment is based on qualitative assessment. So does it mean there is
No,
assessment?
not in this way. I said assessment is expressed in qualitative form. It's not done in qualitative form. It is expressed in qualitative form. Means they must have that score with them that your 90 questions were correct or 130 questions were correct, but they do not give that assessment to you. They share the assessment with you only in qualitative form. On the screen, it comes as pass or fail. And when you come outside the lab of the test, the center, or your attendant, he will give you a printout. On that printout, there is little more detail available in your exam score in qualitative form. That will be like this. These are called as 3 domains of exam: people, process, and business. 50% of the questions are from process in your exam. That is fixed. That is from PMI, right? So that is a fixed distribution. 50% of your questions will be from processes. 42% will be from people, including your team, including the stakeholders. 8% of the questions will be from business, value, earned value, returns, rate of returns, all these things. And when they give you result, they will show you were, let's say, above target on people domain, on target on process, and let's say once again, above target on business. This is again qualitative form. This is the result that you get from PMI, but nothing is mentioned on your certificate about that. So everyone's certificate looks like same, other than their identity and date of a number. Performance-wise, nothing is mentioned on their certificate. This is the style of their result. Any other question, please?
Got it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So almost in 30 minutes, we will take a prayer break, inshallah. In 30 minutes from now, inshallah. Any other question so far, please? Okay, I will show you some. Okay, before that, the membership, PMI membership, and the fee of the exam. Before explaining this membership part, this is the fee of the exam. So first attempt, if you are a PMI member, the first attempt will cost you $405 US, and the non-member fee will be $555 US. You don't need to write anything. I will give you the PDF version of the same slides that I am presenting to you. Plus, I will share the recording with you also. So you don't need to write anything. But still, anywhere you want, you can always take the pictures of the slides also. But you don't need to write so many things. So just concentrate and ask questions if something is not clear. So I will share this PDF also. You're welcome. And the recording also. Okay. In case you fail in the first attempt, the second attempt is 275 and third attempt is again 275 if you are a member. But if you decide to not to take the membership, then the repeat is 375 US dollars. Your application is for 1 year. After you have the application approved, you have 1 year to give the 3 attempts, first and second and third attempt. If you pass in first attempt, wonderful. If you pass in second attempt, nice. If you pass in third attempt, still okay. But if you do not give even a single attempt in 12 months, even after paying the fee, your fee is wasted. After that, again, after 18 months, you again remember, you again need, again become motivated. So your initial application is wasted. You have to apply again. You have to take the membership again. You have to pay the fee again. And this is how the fee of that certification is like that. Any question on this slide, please?
I have a question also here. You are mentioning here PMI member means once we will be registered in the website, this is called membership, or there's other things we need to take a membership for that?
One thing is making an account on that website. Anyone can make that account within few minutes, right? Without paying anything. So that account will be with you forever, regardless you give the exam, regardless you do not give the exam, you take the membership, you do not take the membership, that account is with you. Login ID, password. From that login ID and password, you can apply for membership, and that membership will cost you roughly $120, but that keeps on changing. That keeps on changing. I'm not sure, but last time I took the membership, it was like maybe $70 or $42 or like that. It keeps on changing, increasing and decreasing. But even in the worst case, it is, let's say, $150. Although it is now less than that. So $150 for the membership and $405 for the exam. So how much it becomes? $555. If you apply directly without membership, it's also $555. So that means there is no additional cost for membership. Even it is saving. Maybe like I mentioned, the membership was for like $42 last time. So $42 plus 405. So that becomes like $450 versus $555. So membership is always recommended to take that and then apply for the exam. You will get the discount on the first attempt. Second attempt, again $100 discount. Third attempt, again $100 discount. So it's always recommended to first take membership and then give the exam. After that, and as I told you, membership is, this fee is annual, but it is not mandatory for you to continue. So even if you pass the exam and then after 1 year you discontinue the membership, it will have no impact on your certification. And what are the other benefits of membership? These are some other benefits of membership. It's roughly 149, but now it's lesser than that. You get access to PMI library also. You become part of worldwide. It's good for networking. There are some good sessions like in Saudi Arabia, in the Dammam chapter, in Riyadh chapter, in Jeddah chapter. Sometimes there are iftaris also, iftar dinners also, some one-day symposium or seminars also. So it is good for networking, making good connections. See where the world is going. You can review PMI conducted salary surveys conducted by PMI, which are reliable, good data available. How much is the difference for PMP certified people, non-certified people? Let's say something like that in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, Bahrain, Europe, Australia, Canada. A planning engineer with 10 years experience with PMP, how much he is earning, without PMP, how much is in earning on average. So that is a good information available for the members only. So any question or confusion so far, please? Ahsen, PMI membership, I have explained the frequency of the exam. As I told you, exams are available every day. Multiple exam slots are available. It's just like your flights. First come, first served basis. First booked, first served. So if the slots are available, go and book. Otherwise, take the next date, next day, next week. So they are roughly available every day, multiple slots are available. If you give the exam from home, it's available 24/7, even on the weekends. If you take the exam from the exam centers, then only the business days and business timings are available. You are welcome. Any other question or confusion so far, please? Now, one important point that after the exam, after inshallah you pass the exam, PMP title is not forever in your life. That has a cycle of 3 years. You have to earn it again and again. But the good thing is it can be taken again. It can be renewed after 3 years without exam. How? PMI wants you to learn more and more about project management. So that is a good thing. Of course, they charge for that also, or the trainers will charge for that, and they have some fee also. But it's indirectly good for us that we have to learn more about project management. If you keep on collecting 60 PDUs every 3 years, so maybe it's all 60 PDUs in first year, or all in second, or all in third, or 40 in first and 10 in second, 10 in third. Any split is acceptable if you attend more trainings like from me, from anyone else, right? For example, after PMP, many people, they take my course of Primavera also, my Microsoft project also, my RMP course, my ACP course. So from me or from anyone else, if you keep on taking more courses every 3 years and the total number of hours is 60, your certification will be renewed for another 3 years without exam. In case by chance you do not have 60 PDUs in 3 years, at the end of third year, your certification will be suspended for the fourth year. So that fourth year is like a warning or grace period for you. In that fourth year, you cannot write or claim yourself as PMP certified, but they are having suspended certification. Within that fourth year, if you collect the missing PDUs, you take the trainings, and then you can renew the certification status back to normal, revert it back to normal. But at the end of fourth year, still you have not collected 60 PDUs. Now that is termination of your certification. Now, whenever in life you need it again, you need to give the exam again. Any question or confusion, please?
Sir, I have two questions. One is regarding the application. If you apply for that and your application being approved, but you don't attempt the or go for the exam, and your 1 year time of the approved application is expired, then you have to get back to the application procedure, or that old application can be processed again.
No. You need to make a new application, and in that new application, you can copy paste the data from old application. So that is possible, but your old application will not be considered as it is. So it's kind of copy paste again.
Okay, sir. One more thing, like if you flag any question and your time expired, then flag question can also be submitted automatically.
Yeah.
Or you have to
If
submit
your
all the
flag
flagged or
question
unflagged
was
questions.
if your flag question was correct, it will be considered as your credit. So there is no problem in that. You don't need to unflag all the questions to be considered. Heather, you're asking how long does the PMM membership? So that is just a matter of paying the fee. So within few minutes, 10 minutes, you can take the membership. There is nothing. Or even when you apply for the exam, your application is approved. Now they tell you to pay the exam fee. At that stage also, you can take the membership and pay the exam fee together and get the discounts also. So that is also possible.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
So what is the criteria to fulfill the 60 PDUs? Like what are the courses or
Anything
the...
directly or closely related to project management. As I mentioned, some people do my courses or some from someone else also. Microsoft Project, Primavera, RMP, ACP. So you can do those courses also. For example, let me explain it for you. Let's say it's a common thing that after doing PMP, people, they get motivated to learn more. Because many of you are out of studies, out of books, or not related to books maybe for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. But once you do PMP, people get charged. They enjoy it. They like it. They say, okay, tell us more, guide us more. So I tell them, okay, you can do RMP, you can do SP, you can do ACP. So let's say after PMP, it's a common thing that within few months, people go for RMP. For PMP, you need 35 PDUs to apply for the exam. For RMP, again, you need 30 PDUs to get risk-related training. So if you take my training for RMP or from anyone else, you can apply for RMP exam. And you can count these 30 PDUs in the continuity cycle of PMP also. So these can be double counted. So double benefit. Similarly, Primavera is a very famous tool in many industries, in many countries. So that training gives you 20 PDUs. So people take that also. It gives them benefit on their jobs also. Plus they can count it under their 60 PDUs requirement also. So this is how it works. If still something is unclear, you can ask me.
Is it mandatory to write the exam, certification exam, or just we need to take the training?
Sorry, explain your question.
Like, is it mandatory? Like, for example, if you said that RMP training, so just we need to take the training, or we need to write the exam also?
No. For RMP, you need to, just like you gave exam of PMP, there is an exam of RMP also, but no exam for Primavera.
Only training is enough for P6.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Although there is an exam, but no one gives that exam. Right? So I'm not claiming there is no exam. Practically, no one gives that exam. No one is expected to give that exam. Only learning is enough. But for the continuity cycle of 60 PDUs, you don't, even if you don't give a RMP exam, still these 30 PDUs will be counted here. Still these 20 PDUs will be counted here. So just attending training, and even some people, they retake my training of PMP. And they count 35 PDUs here also, who have already passed. So this is how it works. Some sample questions in the exam. So I want you to actually feel that they are actually in the exam and you are trying to answer it. So evaluate all the options one by one and try to suggest what is your opinion, what can be the right answer. So question is, sometimes the exam asks you question in this way. Exam will present you 4 options. Out of those 4 options, 3 options are true. 1 option is false. They want you to select that false option. So similar question, Which of the following is not true about obtaining project plan approval? So now read all the 4 options one by one, and whatever you think is the right answer, suggest it. So just like audit, some people randomly are selected. They need to upload the copy of the training certificate. So some people asked about that how the PDUs are validated. So just like audit, you may need to upload the certificate of that also. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of option A? Until you obtain plan approval, you don't need to put changes to it through change control. Can anyone tell me the meaning of this option?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, until you obtain the plan approval is like getting the approval from the higher management.
Right.
And before that approval, you cannot change. I mean, you cannot change the plan, initial plan.
Is this the meaning of first option? Think again.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this until you obtain plan approval means there is a baseline plan. Until that is not approved means we cannot change it by using any change control tools or something. So that change control tool is not required here.
So does that mean we can directly change it?
Yeah, before it we can change.
We can directly change it without any change approval before
No, I think,
baselining?
Yes.
I think that, I think no, sir. This is the understanding. So what I understood basically from point A is basically you have the base plan, okay? Till the time it is not approved from the management, higher management or the governing body, you should not change that, the contents of that baseline plan.
Okay, let me try to explain it. Until you obtain plan approval. Plan approval, when plan is approved, it is called as baseline plan. Yes, you are right. So after the plan is approved and baselined, now any change can come only through change request. In other words, change control after baselining. But before baselining, we can modify the plans. We can get new ideas, good ideas, optimizations, some activities here, some resources there. We can modify it, and for those changes, we don't need to raise the change request. So yes, actually it is right that before that we can make any change in that because it's a draft plan. We have not presented it yet to the top management. We have not taken the approval on that. But after that is approved and baseline, now it becomes a very strict process that now all the changes will come only through passing it through change control. So yes, we can make it without raising a change request. Second option, change control, make sure that only approved changes can make it into the approved plan. Yes, it is right. This is how it works. That is just like an extension of option A. 3C, only one person needs to approve the project management plan, and that is the project manager. True or false? What do you think?
False.
False. Because if that is the only person, he will give unlimited time, unlimited funding. So that is not like that. There has to be many other people also. It is important for the entire team to buy into. What is meant by buy into? Involvement, participation, ownership. If your team was part of the making the plan, if they have a feeling that yes, we were part of the plan, chances are higher that the project will be successful. But if you impose a plan on the team, chances are higher that the project will be a failure. So the only false option is C. All other are true. So answer is C. Next question. Very important question. We have to construct a wall in 10 days, 1,000 Riyal is the budget at the end of 4th. Now these are numbers, right? Such questions can come, but it is not considered as a question related to calculation, right? But yes, in order to reach to the right answer, you may need to do some calculation, but this question is not considered as a calculation related question. We have to construct a wall in 10 days and 1,000 Riyal budget. At the end of 4th day, we have completed 20% and spent 300 Riyal. Assuming linear planning, 10% daily achievement and 10% daily spending, what can we report about the project? Can you read the option and tell me, suggest what is the right answer?
Option D, sir. We're behind the schedule as per the normal calculation and spending spending calculation. I think, sir, option B would be the perfect. Behind schedule and saving money.
What about others? So many others are suggesting B.
Option D, sir. Yeah, it's option D.
B, sir.
As we have completed in 4 days only 20%, so we are behind the schedule. We should be completing 40% in that case. And the 300 SAR is if we link to the percentage of completion. So as per 20%, we should be using only 200 SAR, but we have used 300. So it's overspending. So answer is D.
So 40% time has passed, 20% work has been completed, and 30% budget consumed. These are the three numbers to consider here. So if we consider 20% work done in 40% time, it becomes very easy for us to understand it is behind schedule, we are going slow. So on the basis of that, we can rule out A and C because it says ahead of schedule. We are not ahead, we are behind. Now, if we consider 30% budget spent on 20% work or 30% budget spent in 40% time, if we consider this, it looks like good situation. If we consider this, it looks like a bad situation. So the right comparison is the budget consumed should be compared against work accomplished, not against the time passed. So the right answer is D. It is overspending. It is a bad performance in time also. It is a bad performance in spending also. Is this point clear to all of you? Any question or confusion, please?
Clear, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, one more question, important point, important concept. You are a project manager for a railroad construction project. Your sponsor has asked you for a forecast. Can you tell me what is meant by forecast? Anyone?
Future.
To estimate.
To estimate.
Yeah, to predict, to estimate.
Estimation of total budget.
These two things are the same or different?
Cost forecast is different, sir.
Same.
From cost plan.
What is the difference?
Difference is that in the middle of the project, we forecast that how much time it will more take, or
No time. We are only discussing about cost right now.
yes, cost. How much cost it will take at the completion of the.
Okay. Can you tell me same question in terms of numbers in this example? How much is the cost related plan and cost related forecast in this?
Cost.
So it will become very easy for all of you to understand.
Yeah.
Tell me the numbers in this example, this scenario. How much is the budget in this example?
1,000.
1,000. So cost related plan or budget is 1,000. How much is the forecast in this example?
Our cost will be more than the plan.
Tell me the number.
1,500.
We at the end of the 4 days we have
For 20%, if we spend 300, so for 100%, we will spend around, we will multiply it by
1,800. 1,800 Saudi Riyal. Oh, 1,500 Saudi Riyal.
1,500.
1,500. So now you understand what is the difference between cost related plan and cost related forecast. Plan is approved before, mostly before starting execution. When we start execution, there are surprises. Oh, we missed that point. Oh, the price is increased. Oh, this happened. Oh, that happened. So during the execution, we reassess and we estimate. Forget about the plan, but in the reality, how much it looks like to be costing us. That is called as forecast. On the basis of performance so far, incorporating the reality so far. So this is the meaning of forecast. So yes, both are different. So your sponsor is asking about the forecast. The project has a total budget of 80,000. This is the cost related plan. CPI of 0.95, another very important factor, KPI, key performance indicator of a project, one of the most important number in the project. CPI, cost performance index, 0.95. Just by looking at this number, top management has to understand within a second that this project is going good or bad in terms of spending. So how many of you can tell just by looking at this number CPI 0.95, is this project overspending or saving?
Saving.
Saving, sir.
Overspending. It's
Overspending, sir.
0.95 means 95%. 95% is slightly less than 100%. Benchmark is 100%. Anything above 100% is good. Anything below 100% is bad. So this is slightly bad overspending. So 5% of the budget is getting wasted. One more example. Let's say one item, we budget it for 95 riyals in the plan, but in reality, when we actually purchase it during execution, we buy it in 100 riyals. Here we will say our CPI is 0.95. This is how it is read. So the project has total spending of $25,000 so far. How much more money it looks like. As I told you, although in the exam the calculations are not coming, but still just to give you an idea. So can you quickly tell the answer? Then we'll take a 20 minutes prayer break, inshallah. Yes, please. Even without calculation, you can answer it. Let me help you here. Total budget is 80,000. 25,000 we have already spent. And not at a very bad CPI. How much more is required should be less than 80,000. So on that basis, sometimes it is easier to eliminate 3 wrong answers, and whatever is left is the right answer. It could be numbers, it could be text also. So that is a very good technique, elimination technique. Here we will take a 20 minutes prayer break. You can remain connected. So the same session, just keep the connections. Don't leave the meeting, right? So we will come back in 20 minutes, inshallah.
I'm right or wrong?
Okay, now we can start again. So before break, I was showing you some sample questions. So maybe one more question. So sometimes, as I told you, now the exam is not asking calculations related questions, but still the concept is important. Indirectly, they can ask the question concept in some other way. So let's say we have a project with 9 activities, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Their durations are given, 5 days, 6 days like this, and their predecessors or prerequisites are given. So if we say A has no predecessor, that means A can be started anytime when the project starts. B has no predecessor, B can be started anytime. C is dependent on A, means C can be started only when A is finished. D can be started only after A. E can be started only after A is finished. F can be started when E is finished. G can be started when D and F both are finished. H can be started when B and C are finished. I can be started when G and H both are finished. If this is the situation, can you tell how much the total project will take? You can spend a couple of minutes and try to do some calculation and tell me the answer.
कर देगा ना तो उधर पाइप को थोड़ा गर्म करके घुसा के वो वही पाइप डाल देगा। पहले वो पाइप वाला लगा खड़ा कर देगा ना।
So we will discuss that in detail, inshallah, in the full course. That concept is called as critical path method, and how we do that. We make a network diagram just like that, and then we try to find all the possible paths within start and end node. So we find 4 paths: ADGI, AEFGI, ACHI, and BHI. Then we add up the durations of each activity on each path, and the total is 24 days, 26 days, 23 days, and 20 days. And the longest path, remember, the longest path in terms of duration is considered as the project duration. So 26 days is the project duration. All the activities on this path are called as critical activities. So A is the right answer. Some cartoons before we discuss some more concepts. It's a very common behavior of the teams. When a project deadline comes too close, this is how a project is completed. So we start with high perfection level. We try to beautify the things we want to become perfectly deliver everything here. But later on, we get frustrated and we just try to finish the items in the scope. So this is a very common behavior. She's asking, why do you have only 40% of an umbrella? His answer is because chances of rain is only 40%. Right? So it looks like funny, or it looks like not useful strategy. But if we apply it on a large scale, this strategy works. In real life projects, this strategy works. So for that, if we understand, it's very important concept for everyone. If we understand the concept of 40%, we will be able to understand the application of this concept or risk management. So what does that mean? For example, we say tomorrow, once again, there is a match between Pakistan and India. So let's see who will win this time. But to be fair, what do you think? What are the chances that Pakistan will win? What do you think? To be honest, fair chances. Any suggestion? What are the chances that Pakistan will defeat India tomorrow, inshallah?
So logically speaking, 50-50.
50-50?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In
T20. Okay. Any other suggestion? What do you think? 50-50 is a fair number? I feel, okay, it could be wrong, but just for the sake of understanding, I feel 30-70. I will give 30-70, 30% to Pakistan, 70% to India. Right? But of course, my prediction is one of the next two matches Pakistan will win, inshallah, either tomorrow or next Sunday, again final, Pakistan versus India. So one of these two. So effectively it will become 50-50. But let's say on any given day, I will say 30-70. So what does that mean actually? That means if there are 10 matches between Pakistan and India, 3 matches Pakistan will win, 7 times India will win. This is the meaning of probability. But in reality, after 10 matches, it could be anything. Maybe it could be all 10 matches Pakistan wins. Maybe all 10 matches India will win. But prediction is 30-70. So now if we understand this thing that 40% chances of rain, that means if there is a similar weather, cloudy weather for 10 days, 4 times it will rain, 6 times it will remain dry. So 4 times we will need umbrella, 6 times we will not need umbrella. So on a project, rain is like a risk here, umbrella is like a reserve here. So symbolically, for 40% chances, if we have hundreds of risks, we need 40 reserves, not 100 reserves. So this is the reality or in real life project risk management. So we do not need to have 100% reserves for all the risks, because in reality, all will never happen. Theoretically, they can happen. Practically, they will never happen. So that is the meaning. So logically, in the context of one risk, it will not work. But when we apply the same concept on a large number of risks, this thing is applicable. One more cartoon here. Who are we? Especially the people who are dealing with the clients, they know the pain behind this cartoon. Who are we? We are clients. What do we want? We don't know. When do we want it? Now. This is a common behavior of the clients. They're not clear what they want, but they are clear we need it immediately. Some person already jumped from the plane wearing a parachute, and now there is an announcement after he has jumped. Okay, there is a small change. Red bag that he is already wearing has the sandwiches, and green bag is actually your parachute. So too late to inform or communicate. So it happens on real life projects also. Communication management and change management. Both are unfortunately not duly respected. Now we will discuss some concepts, some definitions, some terms. And maybe in the next 30 to 40 minutes, I will try to wind up, and then you can ask me any questions you like, inshallah. Project management, definition of project management. Applications of skills and methodologies that allow you to deliver a project on time, within budget, and to the specifications. So these are the 3 objectives of a project manager. O1, O2, O3. Objective number 1, to finish on time. Objective number 2, to finish on budget or less than that. Objective number 3, whatever we committed, deliver that. So it is just like a student of A levels or O levels, like if let's say a student of A level has physics, chemistry, and bio, 3 subjects, what is his target? That I need to score A+ in all 3 subjects. But if he gets A+ in 2 and B grade in 3rd one, still his parents are kind of happy that mashallah he got 2 A stars. They will never mention about the third one. Right? But as a project manager, he has 3 subjects and he has to score A+ in all 3. On time also, on budget also, specification also. Specification means scope here. And here A+ does not mean 100%. A+ means very close to 100%. So for example, we say we have a project that was of 10 months duration and the budget was 10 million and the scope was to make 10-floor building. And this was the plan, and actually the project manager, he delivers that in 10 months. So mashallah, very good. He completes that 10-floor building, very good. But he spends 13 million on that. So he got A+ on time, A+ on scope, but maybe C grade on cost. So overall, this project management will not be considered as a good project management. He needs to score A+, A+, A+ in all 3 together. Otherwise, he is kind of a failure. So this is the meaning of delivering a project on time, within budget, and to the specification, all 3 together or very close to that to be considered as A+. Every project has some characteristics. They're always temporary, start and end. They have some objectives to meet. They're progressively elaborated. Progressive means every time improving, incrementing. Incrementing in steps, small steps. Elaboration means more details. So that means more details become available with the passage of time. Why we do projects? There are 2 perspectives. Customer side perspective and contractor side perspective. Maybe most of you are working on contractor side, but maybe some of you are working on customer side. Who starts the project? Customer starts the project. Who spends on the project? Customer spends on the project. Who earns from the project? During the life contractor. After the project is finished, the project becomes operational. Now the customer will start earning. So the decision to start the project is with the customer. Why they start the project? There are different reasons: to grab some market opportunity. For example, every year during the Hajj season, many companies, they launch new products because Hajj is a very big opportunity. Cricket World Cup, Football World Cup, Expo 2020. So these are all big examples of opportunity. Market demand, market needs, let's say 5,000 engineers every year. So to complete that, to cope up with that demand, Ministry of Education can make new universities. So this could be a reason behind starting a project. Capacity building. Can anyone tell what is meant by capacity building?
It is expansion.
Expansion. So for example, Haram expansion. What they are doing? It's a maybe multi-million, dozens of billions of dollars are being spent. 10, 20, 30 years, all the time they're expanding. Sabic, Aramco, they are expanding, installing more equipment, more refineries. So this is called as capacity building. So sometimes we do projects to increase the capacity of our operations. Technology advancement. With the passage of time, technology will change, and because of that change, companies have to upgrade their products. They introduce new products. The companies who introduce new products compliant with the new technology, they will sustain, they will survive. Other companies will disappear from the competition. One of the classical example and one of my favorite company, one of my biggest customer of PMP training, is Nokia company. And they are classical example of this factor also. If you remember, in 2005, around that, 2005, they were #1 company in cell phone industry. Huge revenue, maybe 50 billion plus in dollars revenue only from cell phones export. Nokia. No one could have imagined, thought that who will beat this company? And Huawei or Samsung, they were nowhere in that race. But now you see in smartphone industry, Nokia is nowhere. Right? So this happens. Some companies appear, some companies disappear. It all depends how well they take the technical decisions, business decisions, risk attitudes, all these things. So sometimes technology changes and we have to upgrade the products. Upgrading the products is also a project. Regulatory change, regulation, standards and regulations. What is meant by standard? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between standard and regulation?
So standard is something benchmarking across, the world, and regulation is from that particular country or maybe, the state or that city maybe. Yeah.
Right. Very easy way to explain you. This bottle, 500 milliliter is the size of that. And it has a cap, right? Very easy. And this bottle, this one, this is 1.5 liter. But I can easily interchange their caps, even if they are not from the same company. Why? Because the opening is standard. It has a standard size. USB port is a standard. ISO is a standard. So standards are best practices available around you or your company internationally or locally. If you like to follow, follow it. If you don't want to follow, no one will come and arrest you or fine you or penalize you that why you are not following. You are still allowed to do the business. Only difference will be some customers may prefer you, some customers may not prefer you. But still you are allowed to do and find your business. But regulations, you like it or you don't like it. It is mandatory for you. It is from the local bodies, authorities. You have to follow it. One very easy example, let's say in those cities where you have airports, you must have noticed that in all the high-rise buildings or towers or structures, red color blinking light. What is that? It's a standard. Sorry, it's a regulation. From which authority? Civil Aviation. In Pakistan, CAA, Civil Aviation Authority. In Saudi Arabia, JACA, General Authority of Civil Aviation. So blinking red light is for air traffic. That is a regulation. You don't like it, you don't like it. You have to comply. If you do not follow it, you will be in trouble. So this is the difference between a standard and a regulation. So sometimes you have to do projects to comply with the regulations. These are called as 10 knowledge areas. Your project management is distributed in these 10 knowledge areas. If we understand these 10, your project management is understood, well understood, and your PMP exam is you are capable to handle that, of course, assuming you have done some self-study in between also after the training. But conceptually, if you understand these 10 parts, you are good for PMP exam. assuming after enough preparation, right? So I will explain it to you. And some people say now these have changed and this and that. So maybe you will understand it later. I will explain it in the training also, that what has actually changed recently in PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7. Right now, I don't want to complicate that concept. So in the full course, we will discuss in detail, inshallah. So project management is distributed in these 10 parts. These are called as knowledge areas. These are like 10 chapters in the book. Scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder, and integration management. So I will try to explain it to you in few minutes each. But in the full course, we will spend many hours on each chapter. First thing is scope management. Sometimes we use term scope. Sometimes we use term requirements. Can you tell me, are they same or different? If they are different, what is the difference?
Scope is actually the boundaries, and the requirements are sometimes basic things which are required to execute that project.
What comes first? What is understood or identified first?
Scope must be identified first, because when we know our, then we will figure out the requirements card regarding that.
So just from this particular question, you will understand there is a big difference in understanding of the people in the same industry. So some of you are saying scope first and then requirement. Some of you are saying requirement first and then scope. So just from this example, you can understand. So think again, what comes first? Scope first, then requirement, requirement first, or then scope. Yes, please, Adil, or someone else who was, yes, please.
Requirement.
Requirements.
Requirement first. If I write a word here, problem, and another word here,
excuse me, based on requirement, scope is built.
Problem and solution. What do we need to understand first, problem or solution?
Problem.
Problem first. And then on the basis of that, we propose the solution.
Exactly.
So what do you think? Problem word is more suitable for requirement or scope?
Scope.
Requirements, I believe.
Requirements.
Requirements.
Requirements. Yes, you are right. So problem is requirement. Solution is the scope. Now, as someone mentioned, and many people, they think like this. People think about requirement in terms of resource requirements. That how many resources, manpower, machine, material are required in order to complete the scope. In that context, yes, I will agree with you that first we need to identify the scope. Then on the basis of that, we can identify how many machines are required, how many manpower, how much manpower is required, how much money is required, how much material is required. But that resource requirement is a different story from this project requirements. So in the project requirements, when we say why the customer is doing this project, what is the purpose of doing this project? Those requirements are identified first, and on the basis of that, we can propose or understand or agree on the scope. Scope here means deliverables. What needs to be completed in this project? Any question or confusion so far, please?
Sir, can the requirement be defined as the end result of the project?
end result is a different thing, and target can be a better word for that. What do we want to achieve at the end? In order to achieve that, what we will do, that will be scope. One example here. Let's say we are a manufacturing industry. We are a manufacturing company. We are producing, let's say, 10,000 units every day. We want to increase this production to 20,000 units every day. Right? This can be considered as a result or end target. But in order to reach to that, maybe we need to install some equipment. Maybe we need to change the technology, or a combination of these. Maybe we need to give trainings also. Maybe we need to do business process BPR, business process re-engineering, or a combination of these. So that will be considered as scope, or end target or end result will be this. Right? Any other question or confusion?
Sir, like if we can say that if someone in a software company, some client asked to build a website for them, and this is requirement. So we as a manager, we think that, okay, this is its requirement, and now we will use this technology to meet these requirements. So the plan, the scope we make, this would be the technology, this would be the deadline, this would, so you say that this would be the scope.
Actually, not like that. Not like that.
Yes, sir.
In this, your example scenario, customer has already analyzed the requirements on their side without your involvement.
Okay.
And they have already identified the scope that in order to meet our requirements, if we get a website with these 10 features, our problem will be resolved. So in this example, they have actually passed on the scope to you, not the requirements. Although
high levels.
Although you are, yes, high level scope. Although you people, I also belong to software industry. I also know I have been using the same term. We are wrongly using these terms in software industry. That what are their requirements? But actually they have done the requirement analysis on their side, and they passed on the high level scope to you. Now in order to deliver that, you are making plans. Okay, we will make this screen and that screen and this activity and that activity and testing also, database also. So that all comes under different knowledge areas. But scope is the website itself with those pages on websites and features, page, all these things, or connectivity or APIs or access and this and that. So already they have decided the scope and given to you. Any other question or confusion? So sometimes the customer gives the scope to the contractor. Sometimes the customer gives the requirements to the contractor. Very easy example. Let's say some person goes to a pharmacy and he says to the shopkeeper, the salesman there, that I'm having fever and headache. Give me something. I just traveled and I'm tired. I'm having headache and fever. So what he communicated, he passed on the problems, requirement. And the pharmacy guy, he says, oh, sir, take Panadol extra and sleep for some time. So he did the analysis and he proposed the scope. You accepted it, you paid, and you took that medicine and came back home. So in this example, customer gave the requirements, contractor gave the scope and you accepted and it was done. Let's say similar scenario, the customer goes to the pharmacy and goes to that counter and he says, give me Panadol. So in this case, what is the difference? Customer already knows what are the requirements. He already knows what is the solution. He has already done the analysis on his side. And he goes to the pharmacy and he says, give me Panadol, because he already knows the solution. So same thing happens with the customer and contractor relationship. In your example, when the customer says, give me this website, that means they already know the solution. If they say, we are facing problems in inventory management, and then you decide that, okay, sir, we will make a website for you with these features and these reports and these entries. This scenario, you are actually proposing the scope, and then they will, after some modification, they will accept it. So I will just speed up little here. I will share the recording. Okay, so I will just speed up a little here. So some terms I will explain, not all right now. In the scope management, as I told you, requirements they come first, then the scope is decided, which is the solution. WBS, work breakdown structure. Can anyone quickly tell what is the meaning of that, or what is the purpose of that? WBS?
It's the breakdown of each activity which is involved in the scope. Detailed breakdown of each activity.
Breakdown of activity.
Including, sir,
breakdown of the scope of the project into smaller scopes.
Breakdown of scope or breakdown of activities. Many people, they think or wrongly think that it is a breakdown of activities. No, it is not activities. It is a breakdown of scope into deliverables, or we use a term work packages here. Deliverables are not activities, right? Deliverables are not activities. So this is the purpose of WBS, and why we do it? To simplify, to make it easy to plan. For example, as I told you, project management is distributed in 10 parts. Why? To simplify it. Project management is a huge subject. How to simplify? They say, okay, 10 chapters. Focus on each chapter separately. So when we are discussing risk management, forget about quality. When we are discussing quality, forget about cost. So part by part, we are focusing. This is the purpose of a WBS. Simply, we are decomposing the high-level scope into smaller manageable pieces, because the projects could be of few $1,000s also, few $1 million also, few $1 billion also. So if we have few $1 billion projects, which is a very common thing in Saudi Arabia, $10 billion, $15 billion, $5 billion, $22 billion. So how you can plan it? You cannot plan unless and until you decompose into smaller levels. 1 level, 2 level, 3 level. So just like that, we decompose the project management into smaller level, one component was scope. Scope was still complicated. We said, okay, decompose in further 6 levels. So this is the purpose of multi-level decomposition, but remember, it is not activities. Activities come under schedule management. Schedule management, we define activities. So the difference between scope and schedule is scope management focuses on what is to be produced. Schedule management focuses on how it will be produced. For example, in scope management, you say we need to do site survey. Okay, site survey is a WBS item. How it will be done, we need to do site visit, we need to make drawings, we need to do measurements and this and that, that will be activities. So this is the difference between scope and schedule. So we define activities, we sequence activities. Sequence activities means arranging the activities in relationships. Which relationships? Finish to start, start to start, start to finish to finish. Estimate activity durations. Develop schedule using critical path method. This is what we do in schedule management. We will spend many hours in the full course on that, inshallah. Cost management. Each activity needs resources. Resources are of three types: manpower, machine, material. Each resource has a per unit rate. ₹5 per hour, 30 riyals per day, 50 riyals per kg. So machine, material, manpower, everyone has a resource. So we do the multiplication, we roll up on the activity level, then on the WBS level, then on the project level. Ultimately, we reach to a total amount that this project needs this much. So this is called as cost estimation and budgeting also. In budgeting, we do cash flow. Cash flow and risk reserves also. What is meant by cash flow? Let's say the total project needs 10 million. The duration is 6 months. So do we need equal parts in every month? Of course not. In the beginning, maybe we need less. In the second month, maybe we need to do the purchasing. We need 40% of the budget. So how much we need across the time scale, that is called as cash flow. Quality management. Quality, we will discuss in detail later also, but I assume everyone knows what is quality. Right now, I will just focus on two terms, QA and QC. Once again, the people from software industry may give me wrong answers. I'm telling you in the beginning, because I know software industry for last 22 years. What is the difference between QA and QC? Anyone?
Quality assurance and quality control, sir.
These are full forms. Difference. Tell me the difference. QA means quality assurance, QC means quality control. Everyone knows that. Difference.
QA is procedural control on the quality, and QC can be said as measurement control. Or,
what is done first, and what is then done after? Or maybe let me answer ask in this way. You are making some product or any item. Before making that product, during making that product, after making that product. I have made very easy for you. Now fit where QA comes and where QC comes.
During QA, after QC. This is clear to me. As what I can see.
Before making QA comes, that procedures to control the quality will come first. And
Mariam?
that
Yes,
procedure will be applied.
Yes, Mariam, what's your answer?
Sir, QA will be in three, in all three.
In all three. Okay,
yes.
QC?
QC will be like, it's a control. So I feel that because it's like in the second, like if we say during that, not before and after, during we have to control. During that product building, we have to.
Finding the defects in the website, is it QA or QC?
Finding the defects is basically QC.
You entered the login ID and password correctly, but still it gave you a message that wrong password. This is a defect. Who will find it? QA team or QC team? Or maybe same team is performing sometimes QA, sometimes QC. Is it identified in QA or QC?
QC, because it's a quality control.
So do you agree that defects will be found during QC? All of you agree with this? Okay, let me give you an easy example here. You must have seen on the electronics items, mobile phones, boxes, camera boxes, mouse boxes, keyboard, one small sticker on the electronics items. That sticker says QC passed, QC
Yes.
checked, QC
Yes.
stamped.
Yes.
Have you ever seen any box where it on the shop where it is written as QC failed? Yes or no?
No.
No. Does that mean that company is producing 100% perfect items and nothing is QC failed?
No.
No. Then where is that 1.5%, 0.1% failed items?
Held back and modified.
They are not sent outside the manufacturing company. They remain in that. So whatever passes QC goes to the shops. Whatever fails QC remains in the company, either discarded or reworked to make it fit. So this is example gives you an idea of finding the defects, or in other words, is it sellable? Is it presentable to the customer or not? That checking is QC. So yes, you were right. Finding the defects in an item is QC. Then what is QA?
Sir, it's basically the overall plan that how it's executed.
Be precise. Because this is the reason behind these certifications, to be very clear about the terminology. Otherwise, during the meeting, sometimes we use this term, sometimes we do use that term. That is acceptable, or general terms. But we have to be use the standard terminology. Yes, please.
Yes.
QA.
Sir, QA actually it's like all over the plan according to some standard or some standard. Yes, following some standard overall plan.
I have written in very easy form, but very important concept. QC is to find the defects in the finished product. QA is to minimize the defects in the finished product. Minimize. So when we say minimize, so that planning can be done before making something also, during making something also, but cannot be done after making something. So QC can be done before making the product. QA can be done before making that product. QA can be done during making some product, and after making something only QC can be done. But the defects identified during QC can be analyzed and planned for the future production. So again, it will come before making the future production. So this is the relationship between QA and QC. Any question or confusion, please?
Sir, it's maybe I may be wrong. I thought that after making the product, when there is some defect in it, okay, so QA will be after that. It's also be judged that how to minimize the defect, because maybe
How
there
to
may be
minimize that? How to fix that defect? That
Yes.
can be wrongly mixed with minimizing the defects. Fixing the defects is not minimizing the defects in the future production.
Those are lessons learned.
Those are lessons learned. From those lessons learned, we try to improve the procedure of estimation or planning for the future releases. So that in this every release, we are having 100 defects. We are fixing those defects. But in every release, we are having 100 defects. So we are not minimizing the defects actually. So we are only relying on QC. QA will be that, okay, do some more meetings, do some more documentation, do some more mockups maybe. So now when we start doing this documentation, improve the estimation process, improve the discussion process, and then we find that now in the next releases, our defects are 50, 30, 40. Earlier they were 100 in every release. So we were fixing those 100 also. They became 0 in that release. We are fixing these 40 also. They became 0 in this release. So we are not saying minimizing the defects in this way. Fixing defect is a different thing. So this is the concept of QA. Just quick one example. First day of my professional life, I was told in some meeting, go and write this program. It was C++ at that time. I was very happy. After many months, I got my first assignment. So I was happy. So I was excited. Immediately, I came back to my desktop, and before I unlocked, one person, he came and said, I want to discuss something with you. I'm Mr. This from quality department. And of course, as a junior person, I was irritated. I have not even written one line of code, and what the hell you are going to do with me? Right? Of course, but he was a senior person. I had to respect him. I said, yes, sir, please have a seat. Yes, sir, please, what do you want to ask? He said, I was told that you are going to write some program. Yeah, I said, yes. What is your understanding? He asked me that. What is your understanding? I repeated my understanding. I said, okay. Which database you will access? I told him I will access this table, this database. Which tables you will access? He asked me every single point. Which fields you will access? What conditions you will write? What in if condition? What in else condition? Where is the exit point? Even before writing a single line of code, he checked my understanding. That was a QA. And it was January 2000, 22 years ago in Pakistan. So everywhere you have good procedures, everywhere you have bad procedures also. Everywhere you have good companies also, everywhere you have bad companies also. That was QA. After 3 days, when I completed my program, I sent to that same person, and then he started QC on that to find the defects. So this is the difference between QA and QC. Still, if you want to ask, you can always ask me later. Just let me finish this session, and after that, anyone wants to ask me any question, I will be happy to answer you. Resource management, as I told you, 3 types of resources: manpower, machine, and material. We have to do that, so I will skip that here. Communication management. Some people need some information. It could be technical, non-technical, legal, spending, completion. So different stakeholders need different information in different frequency, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, in different format, written, WhatsApp message, SMS. So different stakeholders need different information in different frequency, different format. Everything comes under communication management. Risk management. Here I want to spend few minutes because it is important topic, and there so many people are they mix the terminology. So one very easy question here, if I ask you, can you tell me what is the difference between issue and risk?
So issue is basically what is something happened and now we have to fix it.
Right, you are right. And if something already happened, it is considered as an issue. But if something we think it can happen in future, it is called as a risk. So can or may not happen. So sometimes rain, if we say next week it can rain or may not rain also, that can be considered as a risk. So if we say it is raining right now, it is an issue. If we say next week it can rain, it is considered as a risk. So we identify the risk in our project, and then we perform qualitative analysis in terms of, for example, if I say during the training there is a power failure or internet failure. Because of that, we will have disconnectivity and we may not conduct class. How much are the chances of that? So you can say, sir, high chances, low chances, medium chances. Okay, if it happens, how much will be the impact of that? So maybe you can say high impact or medium impact or low impact. So this classification of risk in terms of high, medium, low is called as qualitative analysis. But if we do the same risk analysis in this way, that let's say during a construction project, there are 30% chances that we will have a 5 days rain in next 90 days. And if it happens, there will be an impact of, let's say, $5,000 on our project. So this becomes numerical analysis and it is called as quantitative analysis. We plan risk responses. In the offices, you might have seen smoke detectors, fire alarms, sprinklers. These are risk responses. So we do all this in risk management. Procurement management. Sometimes we give work to other companies also. It could be rental also. Sometimes we need resources from the other companies. So we need to buy resources from the other companies. As I told you, there are 3 types of resources: manpower, machine, material. So what do you think if I give you 2 options, buy and rent? Can we buy material? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Can we rent material?
Yes.
Yes.
Materials are used actually.
Materials are consumables. Consumables, we cannot use it, consume it, and then return. Right? So materials can be only purchased. We cannot rent material. Scaffolding is not a material, it's an equipment. We can use it and return it. So machines or tools or equipments can be purchased also, can be rented also. Can we rent manpower? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Can we purchase manpower?
Yes, purchasing means hiring permanently.
No, hiring is not purchasing. Purchasing manpower means slavery. That they are 24/7 in your possession. You are not allowing them even to go home. So that is called as purchasing someone. Hiring on a permanent position is a rental agreement between you and your company. Right? So this is the concept. So all these are procurement related scenarios: renting manpower, buying machines or purchasing machines, or renting machines, or purchasing material. Why we need these resources? To perform activities. Why we need to perform activities? To complete the scope or deliverables. What if we give the deliverables to other companies, which is called as outsourcing? That is also procurement. Why we do outsourcing? Sometimes we say lack of expertise. We are customer A. We don't have expertise, give it to some other company. Or we have expertise, but we don't have time. Or we have expertise, we have time, but if we do it, we will spend too much on this thing, give it to someone else. So all these scenarios lead to procurement. Stakeholder management, as I told you, that so anyone who can positively or negatively impact the project or get impacted by the project, he is a stakeholder. So we need to identify and make planning for that also. Integration management, things are interconnected. Change in one area may impact others also. So for example, if scope is increased, that does not mean that everything else will remain same. So if scope is increased, maybe risk will also increase, communication will also increase, time and cost will also increase. So all these things are related to integration management. A project passes through these 5 stages. So just last few minutes to wind up. Initiating. After that, we make the plan, draft plan, and after approval, it is called as baseline plan. The baseline plan becomes the standard reference benchmark for the project management performance assessment. During execution, it should go as per baseline, and controlling processes, they need to keep checking that are we going as per plan or not. If we are going as per plan, wonderful. If we are not going as per plan, we need to replan. If the difference is too much. So the difference between plan and actual is called as variance. If a variance is small, we say maafi mushkil, no problem at all, right? But if the variance is too much big, then we need to replan. So how much is the variance is too much to replan, that limits have to be decided within the planning stage, and that is called as threshold values. So if your variance is more than the threshold value, we need to replan. And when we complete all the deliverables, we go to the closing processes. Plan or project management plan or PMP short form. Many people think these are list of activities, date, start date, finish date, resources assigned, percent complete. This is or whatever you make in MS Project or Primavera. So that is not all the plans. This is just one part of the plan, which is called a schedule only. The full form of plan is all this, these 18 parts. It includes communication plan also. It includes a risk-related plan also. So all the areas are planned together, and of course on a big size project. Otherwise, on a small project, if you start doing all these things, that will be too much costly, overdoing, over planning for that project. So on a large project, we make all the plans. So this is the lecture that I wanted to share with you. Now, if you have any question or confusion, please feel free to ask me. And the schedule I have already shared on the WhatsApp group. It will start from 16th of September, inshallah. And the discount I will extend for a few more days. You can discuss with me on WhatsApp on one-to-one basis. Now, any question or confusion, if you have, please feel free to ask. And after this session in September, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I will do a course in November or December, or maybe later. So at least in October, it is not planned. Now, any question or confusion, you can stay, you can ask me in English, Urdu, Punjabi, I don't mind. Anyone wants to leave, thank you very much for attending this session. I will share the recording, inshallah, tomorrow, and the slides maybe today, inshallah. So thank you very much.
Sir, one last
question.
At the moment, ये project knowledge areas आपने बताया था ना 10 हैं, और ये जो आखिरी आपने बताया ये 18 हैं. What is the difference?
इनकी 1-to-1 मैपिंग नहीं है. किसी से ज्यादा आ रहे हैं, किसी से कम आ रहे हैं, किसी 3 भी आ जाते हैं. तो उनकी 1-to-1 मैपिंग नहीं है कि 10 नॉलेज एरिया तो 10 पार्ट्स नहीं. वो मैं एक्सप्लेन करूंगा डिटेल में, इंशाल्लाह.
Okay, sir.
Anyone wants to leave? No problem. You can leave. Anyone wants to stay for another 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes? I will be happy to answer all your questions. You're most welcome. मरियम, आपके सारे क्लियर हो गए आंसर्स?
सर काफी क्लियर हुए हैं. कुछ कंफ्यूजन्स हैं, इंशाल्लाह आगे सेशन होंगे आपके साथ.
इंशाल्लाह. मोस्ट वेलकम.
थोड़ी थैंक यू सो मच. बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव रहा सेशन.
माय प्लेजर. वेलकम.
बहुत थैंक यू.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
Sir, I have a question. During the real training, which is going to start in this month, you will follow PM book 6 or 7? 7?
Mostly 6. Mostly 6, and there is a reason. That reason I will explain in the next in the full course, inshallah, because there is a misunderstanding in the market. People think that after having PIM book 7, that PIM book 6 becomes obsolete. This understanding is not correct. Up till PIM book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, every new version, when it becomes available, the previous versions became obsolete, and the newer version, after announcement, after giving some time for the exam, used to change on the new version of the book. But now, PIM book 7 does not cover all the areas, and PMI does not claim that it covers all the areas that we will test in the exam. For example, the processes, as I told you, as per the recent distribution of questions, 50% questions are on the processes in the exam. 42% of the questions are on the stakeholders and the team. So these 92% and 8% on the business, all these are covered in these 10 knowledge areas. Right? So effectively, exam is still based on PMBOK 6. It is very short time to explain this part, but PMBOK 7 has not overridden PMBOK 6. That is in short, but I will explain that point in detail, inshallah, later on, right?
Okay, so if I understood correctly, it means from the examination point of view, still this distribution of percentage of marks from processes and from the other groups is the same. So we will basically follow PMBOK 6, not 7.1.
In fact, not directly PMBOK 6, not even PMBOK 6, not even PMBOK 7. There will be a new book, not from PMI, that will be a reference book, right? The PMBOK 6 is not for the exam that students will read and understand everything. No, that is written like, just like if you remember in your universities also, textbook was a different thing, guide was a different thing. Students find it easy to read from the guide. In the guides, more examples are given. Even the exam word is mentioned that for the exam, this is important, this is not meant. Such things are not given in the PMBOK versions of 6 or 7. Right? So the best book available at the moment for preparation is RETA 10. That is not from PMI. That is not from PMI, right?
Right.
So that will be your main preparation that will be used for the exam, inshallah. Yes, please. Any other question, please?
Sir, how we can get this RETA 10?
I will share this material. I will share this.
सर ये एजाइल के बारे में अगर कुछ बता दें, ये एजाइल की जो अप्रोच है ये बड़ा आजकल
जी एजाइल की जो है ये अब आपका न्यू एग्जाम जो है मोस्ट अब नाउ देयर आर 2 distributions, right? As I told you, people, process and business. PMI says 42% questions will be from the people, 50% questions will be from processes, and 8% questions will be from business. Okay, this is one distribution. Another distribution is PMI says there are 2 methodologies. 50% of the questions will be from predictive, 50% of the questions will be from agile. Now it is very easily possible that a question is from business also and agile also, or business also, predictive also, or people also and predictive also. So what is predictive and agile? Normally, what happens is in your routine projects that you always plan first, then execute, and during that you control. This is what happens in usual projects. On big size projects, on projects where the scope is clear, construction projects, this is your normal style waterfall. Right. And now agile is also called as adaptive. So from the name itself, you can get an idea. Adopt to what? Changes. So that's why it is called as change driven. In predictive, we discourage changes. We hate changes. In waterfall, customer says this is, we agreed, and now please do this. And you say, no, you told us this 2 months ago. Now why you are changing? There will be a big problem. So you try to resist in waterfall. But in agile, you try to respect the changes. Whenever there is a change, you say, sir, most welcome. No problem. We will adjust the plans. Don't worry. We will accommodate. Why? We know that change is the main factor in the business. If we become resistant to changes, business will start disliking us. If business will start disliking us, in long term, we are also failed, you are also failed. So whenever there's a change, we say, no problem, we will plan it and accommodate it. So this is called as agile also, adaptive also, and plan as you proceed also. Or today I mentioned one term, progressive elaboration. That is also same term or cousin term of that. So agile portion of question wise, it's a huge portion, 50%. Understanding wise, maybe 2 to 3 hours are enough for that. In the course, inshallah, I will cover the agile part also. Any other question, please?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Wa Islam, rahmatullah, barakatuh. You're welcome.
I have a question related to your session, which is going to start from the 16th of September. So, as per your schedule, it is on the weekends, 4 hours on
Friday and
Friday and
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, Friday and
So,
Saturday.
in case if we miss the lectures due to some emergency on the work or some other issues, so what will be the case if we miss the online lectures?
I will share the recording for limited time.
Okay.
You can
So
cover
this
from
will be
that.
covered. So in case of any lecture is missed because of any reason, we will be able to
Yeah.
attend it on the later stage, either
Later
through
stage,
the recording.
within few days before the next lecture, you should attend. But if you attend miss Friday's lecture, so next lecture is on Saturday, so that will be difficult.
Okay. Clear, sir. Clear. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And sir, regarding the course material, which is
Just
basically
give me 2 minutes. Azan is happening right now. Just give me 2 minutes.
yeah, thank you.
So. Yes, please. You were asking something?
Yes, sir. So actually, I was asking regarding the course material, like books. So it will be like online access to someone, some sites, or it will be like PDF copies. So
No, PDF copies I will give you to download. You can download it. You can print it also. The lectures I will just make it available online, and after some days I will remove that also.
noted, sir.
Yes, please. Any other question from anyone, please? Anyone wants to leave, you can leave the meeting. Anyone wants to stay and ask question, you can stay also.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Inshallah, मैं contact करता हूँ सर आपसे inshallah.
Most welcome, inshallah.
Thank you all. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Walaikum
Thank you.
assalam. Yeah, welcome. Welcome. Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi
Thank
wabarakatuh.
you.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Assalam. Assalam. Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, if no more question, can we terminate the session?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Assalamu alaikum.
thanks all to you. Assalamu alaikum. Have a nice time. Bye.